All right, so it is February 24th, and the goal that I had to film more videos in 2026 is not going as planned. Now, I've had a busy first part of the year. A lot of my first part of the year was dealing with sickness from me, my wife, or my son. We were pretty much sick the whole month of January, so that's pretty fantastic. But within that first month, I was able to get done with the roll of film. And so I had this big plan for this video, for it to be this long, drawn out process where I documented every bit of the step of the way, discussed the thoughts, my feelings, my this, my that about it, and I ended up scrapping all that when I started to edit the video. Like, after I developed the first roll of film and went to start editing it all together, I was like, it's chaotic. It's all over the place. I don't want to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down a few notes, talk about my experience, share my favorite images from that first roll, and then carry on. So the big idea was that in 2026 I would have one type of film that I used all year long. So in 35mm medium format, and hopefully eventually large format, was going to be black and white. Black and white it's still expensive. I mean, in the long run, like whenever you're buying 10 rolls, you're developing, you're still putting in money. Whereas a digital camera, once you buy the camera, once you buy an SD card, you buy the software for editing, and that's kind of done. But it's cheaper than color. It's cheaper than buying color. It's cheaper than developing color. And I've never really shot a whole lot of black and white. And so I really want to hone in and do black and white this year. Kodak Tri-X is what I'm going with. I'm going to shoot that one film in 35, medium format, and large format all year long. Plus I'm going to develop it. Plus I'm going to scan it. So the developing process was way easier than what I thought it was going to be. The hardest part for me, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but the film retriever, getting it into the 35mm reel and getting the leader back out to be able to put it into the film, the developing tank, was aggravating. It took me forever, and I know the more I do it, the better I'll get at it, but that first time was extremely aggravating. Other than that, putting everything into the dark bag, working it onto the reel inside the developing tank, cutting it, doing all of that, it was great. Like, it was not that difficult. I just made it so much, the thought of it was just so much more intimidating than actually doing it. The developing software I have is a one chemical from Cinestill, and they have a couple different temperatures that you can develop at. And later in the year I might try different developing. Next year I might go a different route, but for now, for like the photos that it did great. So I think they recommend you developing at, it's either 70 or 75, I can't remember, degrees. So I kind of just filled up my sink with water, put the bottle in there, kind of held it down, let the sink water run over it until I could put the thermometer in there, and it was reading that temperature. Then I had the tank right beside it. I filled the tank up, did the agitation for like 3 or 4 minutes, poured it back into the bottle, rinsed it for 2 minutes, and then hung it up. The thing I want to work on is when I go to hang it, cutting it, figuring out like where the best place to cut it, being a little more accurate with my cut, and getting a squeegee to kind of, I noticed that I had a little bit of streaking on some of my negatives, so getting a squeegee to kind of get rid of that. Other than that, everything else went phenomenal with the actual developing. I was extremely intimidated by it, and so I didn't want to, I just put it off. But now it's like I got it done. I'm almost done with my second roll, and I'm actually kind of excited to develop it and to start scanning. The scanning process is going to be a different beast. It's going to take me a little while to hone in on an actual like process for that, which that's the point. That's the whole idea, that this is a brand new thing. I'm completely new to it, so I'm figuring it out as I go, and I'm looking forward to it. So the second roll is going to be great. Now, I will say, and it's the last thing I'm going to say, shooting film again has been a really almost freeing feeling. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's been it's been fun to completely get back into the mindset of, it's not just taking photos that are going on an SD card that you're putting on a computer that then you're editing and then uploading to, you know, social media, and then that's it. Like, it feels like with every shutter and every advance of the camera, it feels like that image could potentially be on my wall as an end goal rather than on a social media platform or YouTube or whatever. Really, I wasn't really prepared for that shift of mindset when I was shooting that first roll. And I've shot a bunch of rolls. I still have a bunch of rolls of color to get developed in medium and 35 millimeter. But I guess I wasn't prepared for, like, this is gonna sound weird, but this is my camera, this is my roll, this is gonna be me developing it, this is gonna be me scanning it, and then now I got some work to do on the printer here, but eventually it's gonna be me printing it, and I have full control over every one of those steps, and that's a really freeing feeling. It's an intimidating feeling, but it's a really freeing feeling because you get the opportunity to experiment, try new things, fail, succeed, and then ultimately, whenever you nail it for that first time and you put something on the wall, it's going to be like, yeah, I remember every step of that process. So yeah, that's been and I guess ultimately what I mean by freeing is it's that open that door back up to a pretty broad area of creativity, whereas I felt kind of limited in certain areas of film photography for a little while. Biggest thing with that was money. It's just a lot of money to order the or buy the film, develop the film, you know, have it scanned, and then, you know, so having that ability to kind of shrink that expense down and kind of open up that creativity a little bit more, to be like, it's okay if I take 2 or 3 images of the same thing in a different position, because this is not going to cost me, this roll is not going to cost me as much as it was before. So that's a really good feeling. And ultimately, shooting film is that just ultimate experience with photography that you just don't get with digital. And people have talked that to death, and I don't really feel like I need to go into it, but if you've shot film at any point in your photography career or journey or whatever, you understand completely what I'm saying. It's just a unique experience that you don't get with digital. And I enjoy it, and I enjoyed it, and I burn out because of the amount of money I was spending on it. And so now, again, it goes back to that freeing, like, yes, I can return to this documentation or whatever you want to say with an open mind and with a more broad creativity bubble. Yes, or creativity landscape, I should say. There you go. So, long term, I hope in the coming weeks, we're about to go into March. This weekend I'm not going to be able to do anything. It is the 24th of February. I'm not going to be able to do anything. This weekend's already booked. It actually might end up with being a video that I can put onto this channel, which would be awesome. But going into March, I want to purchase some black and white medium format film and go do some landscape photography. I would love to take this camera. This little bit bigger of a camera, but I've got a different camera I can take that's digital, and I can take my Mamiya RZ, go out into the woods, set that thing up on a tripod, and take some black and white landscape photography. Fall kind of back in love with landscape photography now that I'm a little more free to experiment with some film photography. So, all right.